A little over a month from its official release on May 4th, Lucasfilm has put out a fantastic new trailer for The Bad Batch, so let's break it down. As the Republic continues its transformation into the Empire, Tarkin wants to give the clones a test. He sees the potential of their enhanced abilities, thinking they could be as effective as an entire army. They easily wipe out a bunch of droids, some of them looking a lot like the DT Sentry droids from Star Wars Rebels, the same design that inspired the Dark Troopers in The Mandalorian, but Tarkin notes their disregard for orders. I think that's implying that they do not have inhibitor chips, or maybe they do but they don't work because of their mutations. They should be completely obedient at this point, but they're still acting independently and creatively, and that's something the Empire does not want. Despite that, we still see them on some early mission, fighting some still operational battle droids. I guess Darth Vader's orders on Mustafar weren't listened to by every Separatist leader. I like that there are still Separatist cells out there, and it would be interesting to see if any of them transition into a more familiar rebellion. Like, we know Cassian was part of a Separatist cell when he was younger. We might get to see some of that change taking place, enemies becoming allies, and that kind of thing. I'm into it. The biggest mystery presented by this trailer is this child, named Omega in the subtitles. With a name like that, my best guess is that she is the last clone of Jango Fett. She even has that similar accent, so my best guess is that she could be another mutated clone. That would give her an easy reason to be drawn to Clone Force 99, a set of clones who show off their differences as strengths. I think that's the basis for a good and interesting relationship between her and the Bad Batch. At any rate, Tarkin has a change of heart regarding the Bad Batch and decides he wants them wiped out. I think he'll be willing to forgive their disobedience for a time, but eventually they'll go too far. Like, maybe they could find a Jedi and refuse to execute them, because again, my theory is that they have no chips. Or maybe they make the choice to leave the Empire themselves, and going on the run is what sparks everything. Whatever it is, they'll upset Tarkin and he'll want them gone, turning all their brothers against them. But I love that the trailer even set them up as being the equivalent of a single army. They're not going to be easy to take down. It's interesting to note, though, that Crosshair isn't with the rest of the team in most of this trailer. They also don't show much of the new antagonist clone commander character from the first trailer. I speculated back then that Crosshair could stay loyal to the Empire because he is the jerk of the group, and I do think we need a believable threat to our heroes. And of course it has that emotional factor of one of their own betraying them. I see a lot of good story reasons for Crosshair's betrayal. Or maybe I'm not giving him even nearly enough credit and he dies heroically to help them escape, or he's just off screen in every shot. I don't know. Regardless, Omega will be joining the Bad Batch in their escape, and she reminds me a lot of Ezra, getting to see space for the first time, leaving her home for the greater galaxy. It's classic Star Wars story setup. She's got a cool energy bow weapon on her back that we see her use. I think she's going to be the entry point for the younger audience into this series, and it's going to be interesting to see how this is all balanced. The Bad Batch is easily going to appeal to fans who grew up with the Clone Wars, but it's an animated Star Wars series, so it'll appeal to new, younger fans as well. I look forward to seeing how they balance those two potential demographics. I love that they already showed Rex in this trailer. I mean, you've already got D. Bradley Baker voicing 99% of the cast, so it's not like it's surprising. But I still thought they'd play a little coy with that. I am very hopeful that at least part of this series is going to be about going around and helping more clones. Rex took his chip out, and we know that by Star Wars Rebels he's joined by Wolf and Gregor. I want to see how they were found and approached, but I also want to see the times Rex failed. Did he approach Cody? Did Cody turn Rex down? Did they fight about it? I think each individual clone would have a different reaction to being told about the chip. And Rex isn't the only familiar face. Saw Gerrera shows back up, so check that off the list of characters I guessed we'd see in this series. Again, it's not that surprising. Saw has appeared in a lot of stories set in between episodes 3 and 4. Like we were talking about with Cassian and how the Separatists make up pieces of the eventual Rebel Alliance, Saw should absolutely play into that story. I think it would be awesome to see someone like him setting aside grudges against enemies to now fight the Empire. It's also just fun to see how Lucasfilm visualizes the character now. Where is he in his own transformation from his introduction in the Clone Wars to becoming Forrest Whitaker? We also see Fennec Shand. We knew she was in the series thanks to the first trailer they put out, but I think we're seeing slightly more to her story here. I'm gonna guess the Empire hires bounty hunters to work against the Bad Batch as well, and she's one of them. We see her chasing Hunter through, I think, the streets of Zygeria, maybe Coruscant, but it looks a little more like a bazaar to me in some shots. She'll likely start out as an enemy to the Bad Batch before becoming a friend. And you know, where there's one bounty hunter, there could be several more. I think seeing Boba Fett interacting with the Bad Batch could be cool, but we could also see some extra history between him and Finnick to give more weight to the Mandalorian. But those are all the big things I noticed in this trailer. The description for it on YouTube says the premiere will be 70 minutes long, so that's a great way to celebrate May the 4th. It reminds me of how the first 2 seasons of Star Wars Rebels kicked off with an extra long episode. The second episode of the series will come out on the following Friday, the 7th, and then every Friday after that. We still don't know how many episodes it'll be. Marvel's Loki show begins on June 11th, so if we assume the Bad Batch ends the week before, that would be 6 total episodes. I do hope it's more than that. At some point, Disney Plus is going to have to let these series overlap, so why not start now? But we'll just have to wait and see. Let me know what you thought of the trailer in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our Star Wars coverage, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.